It's been almost a full year since Hurricane Sandy slammed into the East Coast, devastating much of New York City, New Jersey, and Connecticut. We visited some of the hardest hit areas to speak with survivors of the storm about their experiences and the recovery effort.
One of the hardest hit areas was the Midland Beach portion of New York City's Staten Island. September 26, 2013, nearly a year after Superstorm Hurricane Sandy viciously slammed into the East Coast. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Midland Beach was a popular resort, complete with a boardwalk and hotels with vaudeville entertainment, even an amusement park and gambling casinos, which drew thousands of visitors daily. Of course, those attractions are now long gone, and Midland Beach is primarily a residential community, with a mix of both new and older housing stock. Many of the structures here are bungalows, originally built as summer homes for tourists in an earlier time. Today they are mostly owned or rented by locals for permanent residence. Midland Beach is no stranger to water and wind damage from storms, with its proximity to the coast. The lack of infrastructure and adequate storm drainage in the 1970s had left many of the older properties susceptible to flooding from previous water events. The City of New York installed a new large storm drainage system in 1979, which had corrected that for the most part. That is, until October 29, 2013, when the unexpected storm surge from Hurricane Sandy decimated this community. At first glance, Midland Beach appears to be mostly recovered after the storm, but a closer look shows that things are far from back to normal. In fact, it's nearly impossible to travel more than a few blocks through the Midland Beach area without seeing houses that were severely damaged by Sandy. Many of these still lay as vacant reminders of the storm's devastation. One of these reminders is 481 Midland Avenue, the former home of Ayman Youssef, but for almost a year now, the home of the Midland Avenue Neighborhood Hub. The Hub is a volunteer relief center started by Mr. Youssef shortly after the storm to help those desperately in need in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. I spoke with Ayman Youssef about his experiences and what he sees as being necessary to get his Midland Beach community back to where it was before the storm.
You're here at 481 Midland Avenue. This is where my house used to be. My house is total gone because Sandy took it. Sandy took the whole thing, and that was October 29, 2012. This is a relief center. I turned it into a relief center. After Sandy, the first Saturday, we opened up in the street, and since that time, today is like 11 months later, we're still doing this because our community really needs this. You know, we're not back to normal. I don't know for how long we're going to be back to normal. You know, it's still going on.
So what do you actually do at this center?
This center, we have hot food, we have food pantry, we have baby supply, we have case managers. You know, they're providing help for the community. We have answers to a lot of the questions when somebody comes. Until now, a lot of people comes back, you know, and they still at stage one, like they don't know what's going on. You know, they're shocked. So we're still offering everything we can to offer. We're serving over 100 families now on a daily basis.
That's a lot.
Well, at the beginning, we were like between 2,000 and 3,000 people daily. Mm-hmm. I was, you know, it's very exhausting though. But now it's 100 families, 120 families. We get a lot of organizations helping us here on daily basis. I start my day knowing nothing how it's gonna be, but things start happening, you know, after like a couple of hours, we see people coming in, you know, so our day, we start to get busy, you know, we start with nothing how to start it, but we keep going.
And how big an area do you serve? Just a few block area, or?
Not really. It's on Staten Island here. We are only two centers open now. Yeah, for the whole island.
Really?
Only two. Yeah, because we're grassroots volunteer. You know, we're volunteers. Nobody's helping. Nobody's giving us grants. Just from the bottom of our heart, we're doing it.
What would you like to see happen? You know, as far as support from, you know, let's say from state and federal agencies.
Well, I would like them to come and see what's going on here. You know, from the federal, you know, the state and the city. Really, you know, I don't want to even talk about that. But the federal, I want them to be here. I want them to see what's going on. I want them to know where the money went. We're at stage 1. We're not even moved. This is my house. This is where my house used to be. I cannot even build. Where's the money? Where's the help? Almost a year later, it's really big shame. We have to move forward. We can't just stay at this step. We need to step up.
Let's talk about you. What do you see happening in your future? I mean, here you are. You have a tent where your home was, and you're doing great stuff for your community. But what about you?
I believe in God, and God helped me that night to be alive. My mom was alive because of him, and my nephew was alive, and my dog. We had to swim to the second floor, my neighbor, that night, because it was a tsunami, whatever they saying. It wasn't a storm surge, it was a tsunami, because I had people at the first of the street, they said it was 40 feet high of wave, yes. And then when it get here, because almost quarter mile, it was like 16, 17 feet high. So the future is going to be as follow. Hopefully, if God is willing, it's all done by him. I'm going to have my house, and I'm going to have something outreach for people. When I was, we were in the street 3 weeks later, they approached me. Somebody's inside. They approached me and they said they want to help Samson. I said, why? I said, he's sick. Like, I didn't realize. No, serious. I did not pay attention to him. You saw the picture I put it the other day? I found it over the internet. I was like crying, kept crying. They said he's sick, and from the morgue. So they took him to the vet. They spent over $700 on him, and he really, we had to put him on antibiotic and all that. And they came back. They said we're gonna put him in a kennel because this environment is not good for him. And then at the meantime, they start coming and doing the house for him. They built that house. It's like a mansion for him. Give me, buddy. Come on. Look at him.
And here we are, almost a year later. And how is your neighborhood? How would you describe it here? I mean,
my neighborhood, a lot of empty homes. We don't know where they are. And whoever went back, they're still suffering. They're not done. They're halfway there. It's really big problem. We have a big problem because people basically, they spend all their money, some of them on credit cards, and this area did hit poverty. Beside Hurricane Sandy, it did hit poverty.
Prior to?
Now, right now, they hit poverty.
And this was, how was this neighborhood before the hurricane?
I loved my neighborhood, really.
So just a normal middle class neighborhood?
Yeah, middle class, and now it's not even middle class. No way there.
What do you need now to help get your community back to where it was?
I need everyone to know that we still need the help. We still need volunteers here. We still need all kind of donation to help our community. They think we're okay. No, I want them to know we're not okay. We're really, it's month 11, but we're not okay. The first 2 months, all the donation were coming, everything. Until now, people are asking for cleaning supply and all that because they cannot buy it. To buy it, they're gonna be less on something else. So I need, we need the volunteers, and we need the donations. We need things to be moving up, and we need the government to, move up for helping the people.
The common thread between the Midland Beach residents we spoke with was their resolve to rebuild their community with the forthcoming aid packages that federal and state officials have been promising for months, once they actually receive it. Many residents, like Eamon Yosef, are still waiting to get their homes and lives back.
From New York City, I'm Bob Krell for Saving the Great Indoors.